I thank the organizers of this conference and particularly to Learned Attorney General for India for giving me this opportunity to share a few of my thoughts on this important conference and technical session as to how mediation could be the most important way of resolving differences and legal disputes, and by launching the Mediation Association of India. Now we all know, we all come from families, whether it is small families or large families. Parents mediate between children, the elders mediate between husband and wife, other members, friends mediate between friends. No dispute goes to any court of law as such from a home. When does the dispute go from a home, a family, a contractual relationship, or any other between neighbors to a court of law? It is only when there is no mediation or any attempt at mediation which has failed that the dispute goes to the court of law. Now, we all being in the legal fraternity know the burden that the courts are facing, and therefore we have reintroduced this Section 89 under the Code of Civil Procedure and had alternative dispute resolutions. Now, under that, we have mediation as one of the dispute resolution mechanisms. I would not like to dilate on others, but I feel that today, having this launch of the Mediation Association of India and having the latest act, that is the Mediation Act of 2023, my submission is that mediation is an alternative to other alternative disputes resolution. The reason being, in other alternative disputes resolution, the matters go to court or in court. But when a mediation is successful, the matter does not have to go to court. And how is that? Here I would like to highlight upon two aspects. One is the pre-litigation mediation, and the second is the hybrid model of mediation. I need not enlighten more or to this enlightened audience about what this is. Pre-litigation mediation are with regard to disputes which are concerning family relationships, commerce and contracts, where there is need to maintain the relationship, and with regard to disputes between neighbors. Now, the idea of this enactment is as to how the matters could be prevented from going into the court by having a pre-litigation mediation in these branches of disputes, I would say, rather than branches of law. The second aspect is we already have some kind of a formal pre-litigation mediation in the form of this Section 12A of the Commercial Courts Act, or in the form of permanent Lok Adalat under the Legal Services Act. But now under the Mediation Act 2023, a revolution is sought to be brought about in the context of preventing cases, disputes entering the portals of the court as such. And therefore, how it is to be done? It is to promote and facilitate institutional mediation, to resolve civil, commercial and other disputes, encourage community mediation, online mediation as a cost-effective process. I would like to touch upon these aspects and as to how we can implement various aspects of this. But before I go to that, I must say that on the aspect of pre-litigation mediation, when it comes to family disputes, that there has been a great success as such, but it is always after the matter goes to the court. How is it successful prior to the matter going to the court? That is an aspect which we need to consider. Then I would come on the other aspect of hybrid mediation with arbitration. My submission here is, if the arbitration has already commenced, then there is a need for the arbitrators to take a pause, make the, let us say the issues are framed, then the matter has to go to a panel of mediators to see whether the dispute could be mediated or not. Where it could be mediated and a settlement is arrived at, the arbitrators will just record that portion of the settlement. If there is no settlement on certain issues, then the matter would go to the arbitration, and there would be another, an award. So my submission is, this mediation being introduced at the time of arbitration is very necessary. We have arbitration centers attached to various high courts. Therefore, there must be an empanelment of mediators in those arbitration centers so that there could be mediation of the disputes at the level of arbitration. The other submission I would like to make is, now we have government contracts, other contracts where arbitration is a clause, and now we know how difficult it is for arbitration. The way the arbitration is progressing in this country, that is for another day's discussion, that the government of India does not want to have an arbitration clause in many of the, instead let them have a clause that prior to arbitration, in the event they want to have an arbitration clause, a mediation, pre-arbitration mediation clause should be there in all the government contracts, so that the parties, before issuing a notice for arbitration, will go in for mediation. Therefore, we need to have this system put in place under the Act if we want to prevent litigation entering into the portals of the courts, and the reverse is there, where litigation comes from the portals of the court to the mediation centers. Now, I have briefly touched upon the various areas where this can happen, but my main submission is with regard to how do we implement this Act, and I would like to make my suggestions on this aspect. The first is with regard to the awareness programs under the Mediation Act. We should need to have a nationwide campaign utilizing television, radio, newspapers, and through skits and social media, through CSR initiatives, to promote the scope and benefits of mediation. My submission is, law students who are well versed with the law as such must be asked to prepare these skits so that it becomes a wide way of creating an awareness on the importance of mediation. Then the second is, through State Legal Services Authority, Information and Broadcasting Departments of the state governments, there must be targeted workshops for the implementation of this Act. The third is that mediation must be studied as a standalone course and not part of ADR curriculum in the law courses. For that, we need to have a credit course on mediation separately, and syllabus for that must be prepared, possibly with the guidance of the advocates and mediators. I next move on to what are the infrastructural obligations and how it could be discharged. There must be first multilingual and local language, apart from English, educational materials that clearly explain mediation process and its advantages and dissemination. What I had done as the president of the mediation center was, now as we put a note in the summons which is sent from the courts or the court notices, there is a rubber stamp which says you can avail of legal services, legal aid. We had introduced the same, another, rubber stamp used to be put saying mediation is available, and we had introduced that in Karnataka at the back of every summons which is issued from the court, whether it is a district court, high court, and this was an information to all litigants, to the respondent, that look, mediation is available even though there is a court case. So that kind of dissemination of the mediation process must be there. Then when it comes to digital mediation and online mediation, which is there as part of the Act, specialized training is required for digital and online mediation, because we have now mediation mostly in person or through video conferencing facility. But if it is going to be through only digital or online, then how are we going to train our mediators for that purpose? I would also submit that there must be a national helpline for mediation. That must be centralized number, like you have a child helpline, a mediation helpline at the all India level and at the state level, and these numbers must be put on the websites of the Mediation Association which has been created, and Mediation Council of India. There must be another thing is, we have already got mediation established, but how do we improve the system? There must be what is called a system of feedback on the mediation process from the participants and the stakeholders. For that, Many people may not come forward in a formal way. A simple suggestion box at the mediation centers must be put to invite suggestions from the stakeholders, either online or at the local mediation centers. Moving forward, I would say that the Legal Services Authority has been given the responsibility of pre-litigation mediation under Section 12A of the Commercial Courts Act. How far the Legal Services Authority are in a position to identify good mediators, not at the state capitals, but at the district headquarters, at the taluk headquarters, we have the member secretaries. How are they identifying efficient mediators? What is their training? How is their empanelment? How are they being paid? These are things which we need to look into. There should be a schedule. Apart from that, when they are empaneled, there must be a proper formal schedule for the mediators to attend the mediation centers, even let us say at the taluka level, so that they can, like we have the volunteers for the Legal Services Authority, or we have the advocates who are empaneled for the Legal Services Authority or the committee. We need to have an empanelment of mediators at all levels. And the next suggestion is the judicial officers and judges all over the country must undergo mediation training for 40 hours, and that would be the training programs. It must be taken up by the state judicial academies. In fact, we had tried that, started that experiment to train every judicial officer in Karnataka for a 40-hour mediation, but COVID intervened and our mediators, senior mediators, they were very apprehensive of coming to the academy and the program had to be discontinued. Then what about the existing mediators, their capacity building, their training? It must be an ongoing process. My one submission here is, when I was the president of the Karnataka Mediation Center, earlier it was called the Bangalore Mediation Center, I had a continuous legal education program for mediators. Why I suggest this is, unless the mediators know what the latest position of law is, they will not be in a good position to mediate a dispute. See, unless you know what is the dictum of Vinita Sharma's case, you will not be able to mediate between a brother and a sister. Therefore, this continuous legal education for mediators must be there. Then there must be coordination between the state level mediation association for exchange of ideas with the central association. I would say there should be a state chapter so that there is exchange of best practices, etc. Then what happens with regard to the impact of the court litigation on mediation? When it comes to Lok Adalat settlement, 100% or 75% of the court fee is refunded. So a similar thing must happen with regard to a mediated settlement where the cases are pending in the courts and they go in for a mediation and there is a settlement. 75% or 100% of the court fee must be refunded, so that they are also satisfied that they did not go in for an adjudication. There was a win-win situation. Both parties succeeded and we got 100% of our court fee. That's a motivation for the existing cases to be sent for mediation. Then there must be a concerted efforts in identifying cases for mediation, as it is done for Lok Adalat. Now we have mega Lok Adalats, national Lok Adalats. Every Chief Justice, every Executive Chairman will request all judges of the High Courts and the District Court, please refer. But what is the kind of reference that we are having for mediation? It is really dismal. Hardly any matters are going for mediation. By compulsory, statute, the mediations are taking place in the case of family court disputes. Instead of counseling, it is going for mediation. But what about the disputes which are pending in the courts, whether at the district level? How to refer a dispute? How to identify a dispute which is referable? A training must be made. I suppose the mediators must come and train the judges to refer the disputes for mediation. And since Honorable Chief Justices are here, they must instruct the Registrar Judicial to identify the cases with the particular roster judges to refer the cases for mediation wherever it is. And now I may say, after the crystallization of the dispute at the district level, matter comes, let us say, in the first appeal or in the second appeal, to the first appellate court or the second appellate court. The parties know where they stand because there is already a decree. But even then they would like to settle the matter, especially where it is for recoveries or partition suits or some kind of a give and take. At the High Court level or at the First Appellate Court level, there must be mediation centers established where even after a decree is passed, particularly in matrimonial disputes, check-bound cases, partition suits, other family disputes, labor and service matters, there has to be after post-decree mediation at the appellate stage. Then with regard to other incentives, I am sure the corporates, public sector units, insurance companies who agree for mediation, they must be given some kind of an incentive by the respective governments or authorities. Then with regard to the clauses in the arbitration, I already said there must be free pre-arbitration mediation as a compulsory clause in the arbitration agreements which go in for arbitration. Then such a clause for mediation must be there in all government contracts and of the government and instrumentalities and authorities, so that the matters are settled at the level of mediation and there is no arbitration even. Then the next is Mediation Association of India, which is established today. It is a dedicated body to serve as an interface between the judiciary, National Legal Services Authority, the mediation centers for promoting dialogue and coordination. We need to give our ideas and suggestions as to how that can become fully functional. The National Judicial Academy must have training programs and seminars, exchange best practices in mediation. State judicial academies must have refresher courses for mediation and for capacity building. And now today it has been announced that 3rd of May 2025 would be the National Mediation Day. I had already written it that there should be not only a National Mediation Day, but also a nationwide awareness campaign and probably a National Mediation Week also, so that the cases are settled during that mediation week, like we have Meka Lok Adalat. I'm sorry I'm taking your time, this is just to set the tone, but I have one apprehension in all this. We are all here who are pro-mediation. We are mediators, counselors, and lawyers and others who are interested in mediation. But we don't have anybody here who is opposing mediation. Who is opposing mediation? The advocates are, some of the advocates, not all, are opposing mediation. Why? Because they think if matters are set, if the matters don't enter the courts or matters which are pending in the courts get settled, then it would affect their practice and income. I am sorry to say that this cannot be the mindset of advocates. We need to also train our advocates to have a mindset where the lofty ideal of fair delivery of justice is through mediation, and therefore they must come back to this kind of a process which we had, where it was discussed. We had it in the Ramayana, we had it in the Mahabharata. We go back to our villages. There is what is called the panchayat system. In fact, in my village, in my taluka, there was no court at all. The courts came only in the 90s, in the taluka level, because in the villages, in the taluk, Pandavpura taluk, Mandya district, all the matters used to be settled through the panchayat. And we used to say Panch Parameshwar. Now, that is not happening. We are having this mediation and etc. We are giving a very sophisticated term, no doubt. We need sophistication, but see what happens in the villages. The dispute hardly goes out. The dispute is settled within the household. It is settled within the village, and very rarely they go to the courts. So we need to have that attitude back, and we need to have ADR systems as compulsory curriculum. For that, to train the students in the law colleges that don't go in for cases. It is not wakalat. You can have, without a wakalat, you can be memo of appearance, you can appear before a mediator and get the matter solved for your party. You don't require, reams of wakalats in your offices. That is the kind of mindset we must have for our advocates. And I think learned Attorney General, being the leader of the bar, will have to convince the bar that you need to have, some kind of a way in which through mediation the matters could be settled. So therefore, with these few words, I thank the chair, Honorable Justice Surya Kant, for giving me so much more time. I hope I have not taken too much time. I thank each one of you for your kind attention. Namaskar.